has captured national attention. Her body never found, but we have learned so much about what detectives believe happened to her in the time leading up to her murder.
Tomorrow morning, the case moves to Wayne County Circuit Court, where the man accused of killing her, Jarvis Butts, will be arraigned on murder charges. Our Sean Lay has covered this case since his arrest, and tonight takes us inside the case. Sean?
3 names to remember here. Zion Foster, Detroit teen. There was a search for her right at this very Lenox Township landfill. Now, Ashley Elkins, there's a search going on for her right now at this same landfill. Neziah Harris, there was not a search here at the landfill. A chief investigator on that case is also here, however. There's a search for her Metro Detroit wide. Let's focus on Zenaia Harris right now and catch you up on the things you did not know about that disturbing case. Detroit should never forget the name Neziah Harris. Now, just take a moment and look at the last photo taken of this child. Neziah Harris was a child. She was 13 years old. Study her face. Look at the light in her eyes. Neziah took this final photo of herself at school January 9th, 2024. She was never seen again. Prosecutors believe she was pregnant. She was brutally murdered. The child's body has never been found. When charges were brought, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy highlighted this photo in a heartbreaking way.
She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
The next thing Detroit should never forget is how 36th District Court Judge Aaliyah Sabri at a hearing last week called out many adults in Neziah's life, saying they also failed this child.
From what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given the adequate attention and love.
But Judge Sabri went further about how family members and Detroit also failed this little girl before she even mentioned the name of the man sitting in front of her, Jarvis Butts, the man at the center of a 5-day hearing. Bit by bit, prosecutors here worked to connect the dots that Butts allegedly abused Neziah over a long period of time sexually, allegedly controlled her life. Prosecutors say Butts got Neziah pregnant, and the judge said she believes all of the evidence shows Butts allegedly tried to abort the pregnancy himself. But the judge says she believes Butts injured Neziah and then murdered her.
He intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up.
But without finding Neziah's body, investigators focused on Butts, and they had to find his cell phone. Butts told police he had nothing to hide and told police to go through his phone.
Things in my phone, y'all have possession of my phone. Take a look at it, go through it. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know why she said.
Apparently, Butts was right. There was nothing linking him to abusing or killing Neziah on his cell phone, but that's where Detroit police data experts dug in, expert after expert detailing in court how they extracted all of the deleted material from his phone, his web searches, how to abort a pregnancy using antifreeze, and then the thousands upon thousands of text messages he sent to Neziah. Detroit Police Sergeant Shannon Jones and her team got those deleted texts, and for hours, Jones read hundreds of those texts in court, text after text showing a 42-year-old man in complete control of a 13-year-old girl.
He sends her a text that says, "Are you naked yet?" She replies to him and says, "No, I don't want to get naked." She replies, "Are you mad that I didn't get naked?"
5 days of this preliminary hearing, Butts was hunched over behind his lawyer with a mask on. I watched him for 4 days. He never looked up once. Jarvis Butts, the last person prosecutors say who was with Neziah. The final person, the judge says, who failed Neziah Harris.
And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture.
Being in there every single day was chilling every single day. If you're watching right now and your phone's next to you, take a moment, grab the phone, open up the camera, take a look at that QR code with that camera that's on your screen right now. That'll link you right to clickondetroit.com, and all those text messages, the thousands of them presented into evidence and much more on this horribly disturbing case. Guys, this gives us a chance to talk about all the people who are missing right now in the city of Detroit. So many people missing. I've been asking Detroit police for a week, just give me a number of people who are missing right now in the city. They've not been able to provide the number because it keeps changing, and the team that goes out looking for the missing people are out looking, and still have not had a chance to compile the number. That's how big the big picture here is, how many people are missing in this city.
It's been nearly a year since the disappearance of 13-year-old Naziah Harris. Her body has never been found, but 42-year-old Jarvis Butts is accused of sexually assaulting her and killing her.
I saw Naziah the day she went missing.
Tijuana Butts is the defendant's sister.
I kept seeing a little girl get in and out of his truck, going to the gas station and going back to his car.
Butts testifying she had stopped by her brother's auto shop on the east side for him to look at her car when she spotted a girl she didn't recognize. Jarvis told her it was his business partner's niece.
I just remember her having on a colorful jacket.
Butts says she didn't think much of it until later. This is a photo of Harris on her bus the day she disappeared in that jacket. Butts getting emotional as she testified about suspecting her brother. Jarvis Butts was already a convicted sex offender. Records show he had spent nearly 10 years in prison for sexually assaulting a teenager. In this case, prosecutors say Jarvis Butts has several children with Naziah's aunt and was secretly preying on Naziah, grooming her, even getting her pregnant, and then killing her.
Was he a secretive person to you?
Yes, he's very secretive.
Latricia Johnson has one child with Jarvis Butts. She testified Butts borrowed her car on January 9th of 2024, the day Naziah Harris disappeared.
He called and asked if he can use my car to do something with his son.
Was this normal, abnormal?
No, not normal.
Johnson testifying when he brought her car back the next day, Jarvis Butts had left something in the back seat, something believed to belong to Naziah Harris.
There was a pair of glasses that was left that my son was playing with. They were clear and they were on my son's face. So I told him to take them off. When he take them off, he handed to me. Oh, Jarvis said, "Oh, those are my sunglasses," and he snatches it from my hand.
Other evidence on this day, clothing discovered in a search near the Rouge River believed to have been dumped by Jarvis Butts.
We collected a pink jumpsuit, bodysuit style, and then a black hoodie that had a pair of white headphones in one of the pockets, some gloves, a towel, and a pair of red, black, and white gym shoes.
Disturbing new details came to light as 41-year-old Jarvis Butts appeared in court to face several charges, and not just linked to Naziah. Sean Lay is live with these new revelations. Sean, it is difficult to even say out loud what this man is accused of doing.
I'm glad you said that, Kimberly. Absolutely. Stomach turning every fact that we're revealing and digging on this story. Absolutely. We're talking about motive here. We're talking about a guy, 41-year-old Jarvis Butts, just inside 36th District Court. Prosecutors laying out motive here. That at age 13, Naziah Harris, he got her pregnant. He was reporting to prison. He was turning himself in the very day the Naziah went missing. Prosecutors say he could not allow her to have his baby while he was in prison. It would reveal years upon years of sexual. The latest.
Mr. Butts is a serial. Evidence will show that Jarvis Butts has been sexually assaulting Naziah Harris since at least the fall of 2022, and that Naziah Harris was pregnant.
This is the first time we are seeing 41-year-old Jarvis Butts in court, accused of the sex and murder 13-year-old Naziah Harris. And we learned new information from prosecutors today. Naziah went missing January 9th. On the very same day, Butts was due to turn himself in to serve a year sentence for carrying a concealed weapon. Listen closely to Assistant County Prosecutor Tina Ripley saying Butts had a Naziah Harris problem he had to handle before reporting to prison.
He turned himself in on January 9th of 2024 to serve a year-long sentence for CCW. This date ultimately got moved to February 7th of 2024, allowing him the opportunity and time to take care of his Naziah Harris problem.
Cover up a pregnancy, you hear about a pregnancy, and now you want to make sure that the pregnancy is gone and Naziah disappears.
Tiffany Jennings is Naziah's aunt. She has never spoken out before until now. Who's ultimately responsible for protecting Naziah from this guy?
Oh, what a loaded question, right, Sean? In my personal opinion, with no affiliation, there are multiple parties involved, as many have already stated. And I just have to hold on to hope that the entire truth will come to light. This is the beginning of the truth, and we're very grateful for this part, but the entire story will come out.
Quickly to say who Tiffany Jennings is there. She's Nazia's aunt. However, Nazia's dad, that's her sister, so she was not involved in the family goings-ons inside different houses about protecting this little girl. I want to explain who that is. Butts hit with 2 other charges, one for the a girl under the age of 13, and another, his own daughter, apparently 4 years old, who allegedly gave an STD. I told you, it just keeps getting worse. He is now being held without any bond. Chief White said it best yesterday that if convicted, if all this is true, that he cannot hurt anyone else. That's why Tamara Smith, Board of Commissioners, Police Chief Kim Worthy, saying if anyone else feels that they have been assaulted in this case, have the bravery to come forward right now. Back to you.
Just awful.
I want my baby home. She's been missing for a very long time.
A girl sent a message to a man before disappearing, claiming that she had not had her period for a long time. This is the last news that the girl will be alive. In November, Jarvis Butts, 41, of Detroit, learned that 13-year-old Nazia Harris was pregnant and attempted to have her take the life of his child, but was refused by Harris. In the end, Butts decided to take her life. In January 2024, Harris was last seen getting off a school bus in Detroit when she turned a corner to meet Butts. According to reports, after discovering Harris was pregnant, Butts searched online for information about taking the child's life. He then messaged Harris that he would go to school to pick her up, but Harris had no news since then. The police launched an investigation. An investigator searched the Rouge River near Detroit, 7 miles away, found the clothes worn by Harris on the day of his disappearance. After investigators searched, a woman was found near an abandoned house who had lost her life, wrapped in a sack. The authorities stated that it is currently uncertain whether the victim is Harris. Butts has been charged with first-degree murder and is scheduled for trial on January 16, 2025. This is too scary. What kind of punishment do you think he should receive?
You guys, this one, I really don't believe that she is in a abandoned house. I mean, like in a basement. They saying she's in a basement, but I really don't believe that, you guys. I think her body's somewhere. I don't know where, but I don't believe her body's in an abandoned house because they're out searching for her. I would assume they would look through, windows of an abandoned house if, that happened. But, I just think some people are making things up and speculating or whatever, but who knows? Because they do say basement, but I think when she says she wants to go do it in the basement, and I'm probably thinking her house, but hell, who knows?
First of all, I want to thank everybody who shared my video yesterday. And for all the men that say why I keep speaking on this situation, it's because I got a 14-year-old daughter. And I want y'all to do the same thing if something happen like that. I expect y'all to go hard for mine, how I'm going hard for her. And 3, ain't no way I'm putting this case together way better than the police is. And it's been a whole year. Me personally, off that video that going around of Shannon and her twin sister in that room while all them people in there. Now y'all can see clearly that Shannon hiding something, her sister hiding something. I'm getting tired of them 2 big back bitches. Now, not only that, if I'm not mistaken now, when they found the car, Nazia jacket, y'all, they said it had antifreeze, right, on it. So what if they made that girl drink antifreeze? Jarvis made her drink antifreeze. Didn't know that the girl probably was going, go bye-bye. And he got in shock. He didn't know what to do, so he called Shannon and her sister. That's the only way I see this case going. I don't see it going no other way. They forced that girl to do something, and she did it thinking that it won't get rid of the baby, and it got rid of both of them. Shannon and her sister, I believe y'all now, Shannon and her sister did do something with Nazaria. When I say do something, I mean they came and got her and took her somewhere where we can't find her. So, yes, I believe that. Now, my thing with the grandma, I'm going to keep it honest with you. I'm going to keep it real. Listen, for one, you too old to be in some bullshit like that. You too old to be in some stuff like that. I understand that you probably scared that folk gonna do something to you, and Shannon them probably threaten you, Jarvis probably threaten you, but at the same time, you too old to go to jail. You too old to go to prison. You already up in age. Only thing the people in the world is asking you to do, grandma, is tell the truth. Them people ain't gonna hurt you. Tell the truth, because you ain't had nothing to do with it, but you making yourself accessory to it, because you got information and you know what happened. So why not just go and tell the truth? Even though Shannon acting like she God or somebody, tell on them. They were wrong with our community. Everybody want to keep it real. Well, this ain't the time to keep it real. That little girl been missing for a minute. I ain't no telling what y'all did to her. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this though. We all know that Shannon and her sister did something with the body. I don't care what nobody say now. After watching that video or them two in that room, it looked like they were plotting. I'm telling y'all, Jarvis called them. He probably ain't even called them. He probably just, and they somehow they got there. So I'm telling y'all, man, they probably how that case, that whole little situation went, man. Made her drink antifreeze, took her out. Here come Shannon and his sister trying to save Jarvis and his image. Now don't nobody know nothing.
At this point, I'm getting even more sad and confused. So, did they find this baby's body? I feel like that's the only reasonable explanation. That's what he's trying to say.
But when I said there's really no reason to search, I don't know what more in between the lines y'all need to read and shit. I don't know when the last time 1 + 1 = 3.
Okay, y'all, so it's been another update in the Zaya Harris case. And I just want to say before I tell y'all what the update is, that it is a lot of misinformation going around that's not true about the case. A lot of people are coming up with their own narratives, their own theories, and their own investigation for the Zaya Harris case. And it's coming to a point where now, okay, y'all are clout chasing. Like, y'all are not doing this for Naziah. You're doing it for some other reasons, and it's not for her. But the new update is that basically that the kids just got taken away from Shannon, and her sister kids, both of the kids then got taken away by CPS. And the kids was at the mama house, so the grandma house, basically. And the grandma was who Naziah was staying with originally. So on top of them knowing that Naziah was pregnant and vocally coming out just now and saying that she was pregnant, they also had conversations on the phone with Jarvis, and Jarvis is chumping them the fuck off. So they're also trying to please Jarvis.
I agree with this lady 100%. I think people are making up their own narrative and trying to spin it, and they don't even have all the facts. And a good thing that her kids got taken away, because if she couldn't protect Nazara, then she can't protect her own kids. And I'm glad that that happened for the kids' safety.
Natsiyah Harris disappearance.
Okay, so back to this Naziah Harris case. I have a couple more questions. You guys were really helpful. I really appreciate the resources that you've sent me. In reference to finding her body, I don't think that they have found it yet. There's speculation about 7 Mile host insinuating that, you know, read between the lines and this, that, and the third, and that there's no need to look for her body. Until confirmation has been made and an autopsy is actually being performed, there's no reason to speculate whether her body has been found or not. Another thing that I believe is that the cousin Roxy is no longer associating with this host for her own reasons. There's no reason for us to speculate about that either. Something that somebody had posed, a good thought that they posed is that how is it that Naziah had her phone or her social media apparatus, whether it was a tablet or a phone or whatever, before she went to school, during the day, and then afterwards she didn't have it? Who exchanged hands with that? That's something that I feel like should be investigated, or maybe it is being investigated and they're just not reporting on it. If she had all that stuff before and during the time of that January 9th day, and then now all of a sudden the aunt has it, Meanwhile, Jarvis is trying to accuse other people or cast doubt, and of course he's going to cast doubt on other people's responsibility, which I believe everybody get that ICE van and pull up to that house right there, the house where the aunt and the twins live, or the twin lives. Round them all up, put them under the jail. That's what I keep saying. But it doesn't matter. It's about facts and evidence. So if y'all can kind of point me in the right direction with all of these things that I'm posing, I would really appreciate it. Thanks.
I keep seeing everybody say from this Mark D podcast live or whatever that they have found Naziah Harris's body. I mean, nowhere in that podcast did I see or did I hear that he said point blank that they found her body. And we got to stop acting like that's what he said. I know he said read between the lines or whatever, but Mark D is not Detroit Police Department. I'm not trying to knock him or anything like that. If the police department has not said that, yes, we have found and have identified Naziah Harris's body, then we can't say it. No, they're not going to wait until trial to tell us that they have her body. They're just not going to do that. If they found a body and they have identified it, we're going to know. They're going to tell us. I mean, what would be the point of them holding on to it? What would be the point of them waiting to tell us that they have her body? They got the guy in jail right now. He's in jail. He's not going anywhere. I mean, yeah. So if you want to know the answer to if they have found Naziah Harris's body, the answer is simply no. I will say I cannot wait until trial, March 7th, I think it is. But I can't wait until the trial because y'all are going to get sick of me because I'm going to keep posting. I'm going to keep talking about it because this baby needs to be found. She needs to be home. And I can't wait until I hear the verdict of guilty and that man can never see the light of day again. He really needs to be under the jail, honestly. The family needs to be held accountable because they knew. They knew certain things about him. They knew he was a registered SO. They allowed him to be around kids. They allowed all of this to happen. And we cannot just sit there and give them a slap on the wrist and say, or not even do anything at all, because I haven't seen anything done. Okay, let's remove the kids, which I think they have. I'm not sure about that, but I hope they did. Remove those kids. They don't need to be around any kids as well. I mean, actually, I honestly think they need charges, because child endangerment, something, anything, because they put those kids in that situation. They put Neziah in that situation, and look how it turned out. She's 13, pregnant. You know the rest. And if you don't know the rest, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then research it. Just look it up and you'll find out about it, because it's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disturbing. It's hard to watch, hard to hear, everything. But if you don't know and you want me to make another video about it, I can do that for you. I will make another video and I will update you and tell you everything that you need to know about Neziah Harris. And another thing, Roxy's saying that she wants to make peace with the family and everything like that. I don't know what type of dysfunctional family that is. I mean, I've seen some dysfunction before, but it's just, they are absolutely ridiculous. The whole family, just throw the whole family away. I'm sick of them. I'm just tired.